Tonight, 69 new cases of COVID-19 and 1 death recorded yesterday, taking confirmed cases since the outbreak of the virus last year to 49,179 and the death toll to 990. Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton is cautioning persons to continue to observe the protocols and not get complacent, even though the measures have been relaxed.
So the relaxation really is responding to many needs within the society. And clinically, even though it may not be the optimal position from a clinical perspective, the truth is we have to look at all the competing needs within the society.
Still tonight, as the country prepares for the 2021 hurricane season, projected to be a very active one, Minister of Local Government and Community Development Desmond McKenzie says we must be in a state of readiness.
And while we can only hope and pray that there is no direct impact on the country, we must be in a state of readiness to ensure that we are able to withstand whatever comes during this upcoming hurricane season.
And the mother of a 15-year-old rape victim has been arrested by the St. James Police. Good evening. Jamaica recorded 69 new cases of the coronavirus COVID-19 and 1 death yesterday, taking the total of the country's confirmed cases since the outbreak last year to 49,179 and the death toll from the virus now to 990. According to the latest statistics from the Ministry of Health and Wellness, the latest death is an 86-year-old male from Kingston and St. Andrew. The new cases consist of 33 females and 36 males ranging in age from 8 months to 91 years. The new cases were recorded in St. Catherine with 15 cases, St. Anne recorded 10 cases, Kingston and St. Andrew recorded 9 cases, St. Mary 7 cases, Portland recorded 6 cases, St. Elizabeth and Westmoreland recorded 5 cases each. St. James recorded 4 cases. St. Thomas recorded 3 cases. Clarendon and Hanover recorded 2 cases each. And Manchester recorded 1 case. The Ministry of Health and Wellness reported that 188 patients recovered from the virus, taking the total of recoveries now to 27,201. There are 20,613 active cases of the virus. In the meantime, Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton is cautioning persons to continue to observe the protocols and not get complacent even as the measures have been relaxed.
So the relaxation really is responding to many needs within the society. And clinically, even though it may not be the optimal position from a clinical perspective, the truth is we have to look at all the competing needs within the society. And I think that's an important point to make. In making that point, I think from a public health perspective, we are also saying that it's important not to be complacent, to take these relaxed measures as a response to the concerns within the society, the non-clinical concerns, and to recognize that these measures should be utilized in a way that is responsible and should be utilized in a way that is sensitive to the fact that the virus is still there. The CMO outlined the number of persons who have been vaccinated, looking at the vulnerable groups, and there's still a long way to go. And as a consequence, the virus can still have an impact, and we can still get back into another surge. And so it's very, very important that we recognize that even while we celebrate and recognize the achievements of bringing the virus to under some level of control over the past number of weeks.
Dr. Tufton, who was addressing the Digital COVID-19 Conversation press conference yesterday, also explained the percentage of the targeted population that has been fully vaccinated with the COVID-19 vaccine.
As at Wednesday, June 9th, 2021, 161,850 Jamaicans have received the first dose of the AstraZeneca vaccine. This means approximately 8% of the targeted population, and that targeted population is 1.924 million. So that's 1,924,759. That's approximately 2/3. A breakdown by region shows that of the 161,850 first doses administered, 53% had been in the Sierra region, that's the Kingston, St. Catherine, St. Thomas, St. Andrew region, 18% in the Western region, that would be St. James, Trelawney, Hanover, and Westmoreland, 18% in Southern region, Manchester, St. Elizabeth, and Clarendon, and 11% in Nera, which is St. Anne, Portland, and St. Mary. As a reminder to everyone, a single dose of the vaccine does not provide full protection, and that's a message that we have to continue to push. You must take the second dose of the AstraZeneca vaccine. If you had another, the Johnson & Johnson, would be one dose, the AstraZeneca. And so for persons who have had their first dose and have completed the 8 weeks or so, there's a little room there for, you don't have to be exactly on the 8th week. And so I don't want persons to panic because they may not get it on the exact day. But there is a process to make contact with you through text messaging or calls close to that date. And then you are given some instructions as to where to go to get the vaccine.
The Health and Wellness Minister also announced the upcoming Vaccination Blitz program locations and dates.
In Manchester, the Manchester High School, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. That's at the Manchester High School from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. That's the 12th, 13th, and 14th. In Clarendon, it's June 12th, 2021, Bustamante High School from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. And on June 13th, Edwin Allen High from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. In Kingston and St. Andrew, the National Arena, Saturday and Sunday, that's June 12th and 13th, for persons vaccinated April 3 and April 9th. St. Catherine, this Saturday, June 12th, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the following locations: St. Jago Park Health Center, Linstead Anglican Church, Greater Portmore Health Center. Saturday, June 12th, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. again, Eltham High School. That's Eltham High School. And Sunday, June 13th, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., we go back to St. Jago Park Health Center, to Linstead Anglican Church, and to Greater Portmore Health Center. So in terms of St. Thomas, Saturday, June 12th, and Sunday, June 13th, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., Morant Bay Health Center. That's Morant Bay Health Center this Saturday and Sunday. So those are important venues and dates and times for persons receiving their second dose, and we will mount that information, Steve, on the website.
In other news tonight, as the country prepares for the 2021 hurricane season that is projected to be a very active one, Minister of Local Government and Community Development Desmond McKenzie says we must be in a state of readiness.
I want to say we should give God thanks because the last time the country got a direct hit from a hurricane was in 2012. So we have gone almost 10 years without a major hurricane affecting the country. We have had rains which have created severe flooding. And while we can only hope and pray that there is no direct impact on the country, we must be in a state of readiness to ensure that we are able to withstand whatever comes during this upcoming hurricane season. Outside of the hurricane, we still have the question of earthquake, and it is anticipated that this summer will be as hot as last year, and everybody will remember that last year was recorded as one of the hottest years since they started to do the measurement. So these are areas of real concern, and with COVID, it makes the work of the local authorities more challenging.
Minister McKenzie said that the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management is fully prepared and over 90% of the shelters are ready.
We are well prepared in terms of the state of readiness of the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Management, despite what is being said in some quarters. Almost 90% of our shelters have been inspected and is in a state of readiness. I will be visiting a couple of shelters here in the parish later on. We have put in place the necessary mechanisms. The Prime Minister, in fact, have launched the National Disaster Council, and we are therefore in a state of readiness. But as a country, we can only be ready to a certain extent. There is only so much government can do. But then the role of the citizens of the country becomes more pronounced in our preparedness for the hurricane season.
The minister, in outlining areas of concern, explained that the issue of not properly disposing of garbage can cause problems for low-lying areas across the island.
The constant dumping of garbage and other waste material in our gullies and in our drains continue to be of major concern, not just in Hanover, but across the country. And people talk about the fact that the local authorities are not maintaining and cleaning drains. That is not true. You can clean as many drains as you want to, but if people continue to dispose of the waste in our drains, in our gullies, and with little regard for other people's lives and property, and we can enforce as much as we want. Because when people behave like Nicodemus at night, and you have persons who live in upscale communities who put their garbage in the back of their expensive SUVs and their Benz and drive down into low-lying areas under the cover of night and dispose of their garbage. We are seeing the stage being set for serious effects on low-lying areas across the country. I want to urge the country, as we get deeper into the hurricane season, to be a little bit more understanding, to practice some level of decency in how they dispose of their waste.
In the meantime, as Jamaica continues to prepare for the 2021 hurricane season, Minister Desmond McKenzie and a team from the ministry visited the Escher Primary School yesterday, which is a designated disaster shelter, to assess its readiness. Here is Javon Thomas with more on this story.
Minister of Local Government and Community Development Desmond McKenzie visited the Escher Primary School yesterday to assess its readiness for the 2021 hurricane season. Minister McKenzie said that the Escher Primary School, which is one of the designated shelters for the ongoing hurricane season, is capable of housing roughly 250 persons.
The tour of the parish today is not just to make the announcements that I made earlier on today at the council meeting, but to also visit selected shelters so that we can demonstrate to the public and to the people of Hanover that when I say that we are in a state of readiness for the hurricane season, I'm not just saying that so that people can see for themselves. It's a state-of-the-art shelter with the layout of what the shelter will look like, with an isolation unit that was built by the school, and I want to thank the school, the principal and the staff and the board for buying into this and making this shelter one of the pride of Hanover. It is estimated that anywhere between 200 and 250 persons, if the needs arise, will occupy this facility. It is properly equipped with all that is necessary, and I can just encourage persons, if the need arises, that people should come to the shelter, because as you can see, it is well equipped.
Meanwhile, a representative from the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, ODPEM, assured the public that they will continue to give their full support to the municipal corporation and provide shelter workers and volunteers with necessary training.
The ODPEM is very pleased to be part of this visit to the school, who has put in very hard work in working with our volunteers and the municipal corporation. ODPEM continues to provide its support to all municipal corporations and the volunteers that lend themselves as shelter managers to support the process. It's a very hard road, but we continue to work on it. We not only provide training for our shelter managers, but we also ensure that they receive the necessary sensitization in the COVID-19 protocols and how to operate at the shelter facilities. And so part of their team is also to ensure that a COVID monitor or protocol officer is also included as part of the shelter team. And we just want to continue this process of doing verification as to what is happening at the level of the municipalities and to continue to support them in their efforts. It just goes to show the kind of results that we can get when both the management of our institutions that offer themselves to be used as shelters, such as our schools and churches, along with the community volunteers.
Mayor of Lucy, Councillor Sheridan Samuels, said that he is pleased with the state of this shelter, describing it as the best he has ever seen.
I want to use the opportunity to thank the stakeholders, thank the principal of the Escher Primary School for a wonderful job in terms of preparing this shelter. The state of it now would want me to probably live inside there. It's the best I have ever seen, and I'm certain that Hanover is on good footing in terms of preparing for the upcoming season that is here. I also want to use the opportunity to again commend the Minister for works that he has been doing within the country and a whole. And Minister, I trust that you would want me to be on your side at all times.
I'm Javon Thomas, reporting for Mello TV News.
Continuing with the news tonight, the Hanover Infirmary is set to receive a newly built kitchen at a cost of $12 million from the Ministry of Local Government and Community Development. Here is Colleen May with more on this story.
Minister of Local Government and Community Development Desmond McKenzie and his team from the ministry yesterday visited the Hanover Infirmary to inspect work being carried out to construct a new kitchen at the facility. Minister McKenzie said the new kitchen, which will be built at a cost of $12 million, is well needed, as the Public Health Department had recommended that the old one should not be used.
The Public Health Department came in and has recommended strongly that the kitchen is of no further use, and they have ordered it closed. They allow us to do some adjustment to make it usable. We have done that. We have found the funds, over $12 million, to build a brand new kitchen, which will be equipped with a new state-of-art equipment, etc., to provide, as I said earlier on, a proper environment for the meals for the residents to be prepared under.
Ray Mulling, structural engineer at the Ministry of Local Government and Community Development, gave some details on the construction being carried out at the facility.
What we have here is a building that is being built, roughly about 800 square feet. And what we have done, based on recommendations from the Ministry of Health, we have decided to design this building in such a way that one of the main recommendations that they give is easy to clean surfaces. So tiling, walls, counter space, things like that will be stainless steel finishes so that it maintains the health recommendations. Currently we have a dilapidated food storage area as well with the walls shedding, so we have a new food storage area at the back as well, in close proximity to the kitchen so that there is easy access and circulation for the users of the kitchen. Well, as I said, it has recently started. Foundation is in progress right now, waiting on concrete to be poured. The construction will take an estimated 2 months to be completed. Given, all being well, in about 2 months it will be completed, and then furnishing and equipment will be installed subsequently.
For her part, acting matron at the Hanover Infirmary, Kean Dyer, in thanking the minister for the new kitchen, expressed how this will improve the lives of workers and persons being served by the facility.
Presently, we have 45 residents. I'm elated knowing that we will have a new kitchen for the residents of the infirmary, and also for my kitchen staff to work in a more comfortable environment. I know it will be used for its purpose, most definitely, and I'm really happy about that. Well, as you can see in the background, it's a dilapidated kitchen, and we have been having some sheddings. We need more spacing, we need more storage area. So those are some of the challenges that we have been facing.
Reporting for Mello TV News, I'm Killeen May.
Thanks, Killeen. Still making the news tonight, with a number of killings that have recently made the headlines in Hanover. Head of the parish's police division, Superintendent Sharon Beeput, is calling for the Jamaica Eye initiative to be extended to the parish to bolster her team's crime-fighting initiatives. She made the call to Local Government Minister Desmond McKenzie during a special sitting of the Hanover Municipal Corporation yesterday. Minister McKenzie was unable to provide a specific timeline, pointing to the need to install the infrastructure needed.
There's one question I have here for you, sir, and we really need the assistance. The Jamaica Eye program, when will it reach Hanover? We need the assistance. You know what is happening. You heard lately about the number of events that we have recently. So we really want to have that program implemented here. So it could just give us a brief on it so that we are aware of what is happening.
All right. The network is not expanded wide across. Presently, Minister Vaz and the other ministries, including local government, have been working to expand the fiber lines across the country. We are well advanced in it. Some of us has to put up something in order to help to finance it. So it is going to be expanded. I can't tell you definitively when it will, but I will check on it and have Minister Davis get back with some information on it. But I know it is being expanded right across. and we are going to be using that also to help with the ticketing system. So we are expanding the entire infrastructure, not just to include the eye, but to also be able to capture the ticketing system.
Within a 4-day period, Hanover recorded 2 double killings in separate incidents as gunmen went on a rampage in 2 communities. On Saturday, 2 men were fatally shot and 4 others injured in the community of Mount Pleasant. Then on Wednesday, a 16-year-old boy and a 39-year-old man were fatally shot at a bar in the community of Logwood. Now, Jamaica Eye is part of an island-wide network of camera surveillance systems designed to increase the safety of citizens by monitoring public spaces across the island and assist the authorities in responding to incidents in the event of a disaster, act of criminality, or accident. Still making Mello TV news, the mother of a 15-year-old rape victim has been arrested by the St. James Police. She is facing the charge of attempting to pervert the course of justice. The case involves 39-year-old Jason Rose, a pastor at an apostolic church in the parish, who was this week formally charged with rape. Allegations are that the victim and her mother visited the JCF's Center for the Investigation of Sexual Offenses and Child Abuse, CISOCA, on June 10, 2021, intending to give a further statement to the police that her initial accusation of rape was untrue. The child was being interviewed by the police in the presence of a Child Protection and Family Services Agency CPFSA representative. When she explained that she was being forced to give this second statement by the accused pastor, her mother, and the pastor's wife in order for the case against him to be dropped. The child was taken to the St. James Family Court and later taken into state care for her protection. Her mother has been taken into police custody, where she awaits a June 16, 2021 appearance at the parish court. The St. James Police have identified Mrs. Kimoy Rose as a person of interest in the matter and asked her to visit the nearest police station earlier today at midday. Up to news time, it is unclear if she complied. And those are some of the stories making news. We will return with other stories as Minister of Tourism Edmund Bartlett is calling on local suppliers to increase their production of goods and services to match the increasing demand from the industry. And National Commercial Bank Jamaica Limited's e-commerce in a box solution has been recognized by international magazine Global Finance in its 2021 Innovators Awards as an outstanding payment innovation. But first, we'll go to a break and then join Christopher Scott with the very latest in sports.